Shalom, family. It's your man Elijah. Thank you for joining me at Unsectarian Wisdom. As usual, I am a healthy, wise, strong, protected, celestial being that is loved by the Most High Creator. Family, been a minute again. I be taking my sabbaticals, but when it's time for me to put some information out, it'll come out. Everything in its season. Whenever it's time, it'll happen. You know what I'm saying? But also this past week, well, I was gonna put something out earlier, but if you went to my community section, you saw that the YouTube Gestapo came by my page again, knocking on my door, took down some of my content, hit me with another strike, threatened me again with another strike. So if you go to my community, I put that information up to my community section here on YouTube. And if you want, go ahead and support your guy on Rumble and watch the video that YouTube took down and see why they took it down. I wonder why. Why they always taking down the truth, Anyway, this video, like what you see on the page right now, family, is a let's call it a map or a diaphragm. I don't want to say a map, because a map kind of infers fact, I guess I would say. I wouldn't say necessarily fact, but almost like the essence, like this is true. This is what it is. What I'm giving you is what I feel in my spirit the Creator has given me to explain the multiverse or our universe, or in a simple way how things work. But warning, don't believe nothing I say. Do your own research, pray, fast, study, as well as understand that I am like, I've explained this before, I'm like those books, like Cooking for Dummies or Gardening for Dummies. This is Spiritual Matters for Dummies. So just because I've written it like this, what I'm about to explain to you, just because I've drawn it and written it like this, doesn't mean it's exactly like this. This is just to give you an essence of what it's like, a semblance. Because we're really not going to know what it looks like until we get there. And I bet when we get there, it's going to look nothing like most of us could even imagine, right? But this is just to give you an idea of what to expect. It'll work like this, but it may not necessarily look exactly like this. But when you get there, you'll understand, or I hope your spirit resonates with me right now, right? So, this is to break down things. And before I start, I want to go to read you two definitions I've brought up in past videos before, just in case. Heavens, y'all gotta understand something. This is on Google. Heavens, right? What does it mean? Sky, heaven, firmament, right? What is the firmament? We've been told it's the fishbowl that we live in, right? It's a glass ceiling above us. It's made of ice that keeps the waters from the above falling down to the earth, right? That the Bible says, right? The Bible says that there are waters above and below the firmament. So in other words, there's no such thing as space, right? So I just want to show you all this. I'm showing you this definition for a reason. I know we've been taught that heaven is this magical place with mansions and golden roads and all this other stuff, right? But we're gonna talk about this today. And it's not to say that a heaven might not have mansions in it. It's not to say that a heaven doesn't have mansions in it or golden roads, but we're gonna talk about that more. Or here's another one from Google: definition of heavens. A place regarded in various religions as the abode of God or the gods, right? Keep that in mind. And the angels, and of the good after death, often traditionally depicted as being above the sky, right? Okay, but literary, the sky, especially perceived as a vault in which the sun, moon, stars, and planets are suited. Similar, the skies, the upper atmosphere, the stratosphere, right? So I need y'all to understand that the heavens, in a more literal term, right, is just another word for the sky, for the clouds, right? it's not necessarily this imaginary place. I need y'all to understand that, right? So the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of the sky, right? Understand that. I need y'all to understand this, family, right? So, this is what I've been in my spirit for my studies and everything come together. So this right here, family, is a diaphragm of the multiverse. These little circles that you see right here, right? Each one of these is a multiverse. And what a multiverse is, one of these multiverses where we live. Like one of these is where we are. Or I might call them like what I put right here in the diaphragm. Each womb has multiple levels, dimensions within itself. I like to call these wombs, right? So, let's start from the top left. There are three states of existence. That is the all, or other words you might call it, ether, spirit, water. The all being another word for the creator itself, or the creation, or the great formless one, whatever you want to call it, right? And you see how I have at the top of the diaphragm, it says the all. Once again, ether, spirit, water. You see the arrow pointing at nothing? All this, all the empty space, family, represents the all, right? And a matter of fact, in an even more closer resemblance, see where my arrow is in the black on the screen? Let's say that's more so the all, because everything came from the darkness. If this is, if you've read the Bible, everything started in the darkness. The Spirit of the Most High was hovering over the darkness, over the deep, right? The darkness of the deep. Saying everything comes from the darkness. So if you want to see, everything isn't white. Everything is be more so dark. But anyway, remember, all the empty space on this paper, family, represents the all, the creator, the formless one, right? The spirit, right? And then, okay, so three states of existence. The second state would be spirit, fire, light, individual form. So, how do I explain this? Your soul, family, right? Or if you say you see a so-called ghost or spirit, or a angel, right? They're spirits. They're in our true form. Your true form is a spirit. That's the second state of existence, is a spirit. Or a best way to imagine your mind, imagine a cloud, right? A cloud of smoke, right? Or vapor. Something that is translucent. Something that can take the form of anything, right? Something that you can't necessarily touch, but you know it's there whether you can see it or not, right? Alright, now you got your third form, avatar, flesh, physical form. The third form is avatar, family, or any physical thing in the wombs, right? Or any physical thing in this world. That's the third form of existence. If you break it down to the simplest form, there are only three forms of existence. First is the all, which is the creator itself. The creator is the substance that makes up all things, all energies in the universe. Everything that is in existence is made from the essence of the creator. That's the first form. The second form is the spirit. That's your soul. Spiritual beings, light beings, whatever you want to call them. That's the second form. And the third form is here in the multiverses, in physical form, or so-called physical form, because everything is technically made of spirit or light. It's just depending on its vibratory level. It's vibratory. All things vibratory level dictates its let's just say hardness at this point. I'm trying to or its denseness, right? So there are three states of existence, just to make it simple. All right, now let's go down. So now see the circle right here, family. This is, I call this if you've seen the show on Disney Channel, Loki, right? The TVA, Time Variance Authority. This is the TVA, right? Or this is what we would call in history Mount Olympus, or the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, right? Well, not the end. I would say this is the beginning. This is the beginning after the beginning, and the end before the end, right? The all, the ether, the spirit, right? The darkness, that's the true Alpha and Omega. That's the true end, right? But I'll explain that more. So anyway, let's keep going, family. So anyway, remember, each one of these circles, even the big one right here, family, right? Oh, you see how I have it saying right here, first realm, womb? All these represent, once again, family, different. These are all different verses in the multiverse. These are all different universes. These are where we live. These are where all the fleshly beings and creatures and trees and plant life, animals. This is where everything lives, within these wombs. And these wombs are all within the what? The all within the all of the Most High Creator. So this one right here, the biggest circle, family, this is the very first womb. And in this very first womb is who lives here? Who lives in the very first womb? It's the so-called gods, the angels, the watchers, the caretakers of all the other multiverses or verses, right? This is the very first womb that the Creator spoke into existence, right? So, what I need you, okay, but remember, like I said before, family, gods are just another word for you, or spiritual beings, angels, watchers. They're all one of, even though I have these same names, they're all the same thing, family. These are all just titles. But when it comes down to it, the beings that live in this place are spirits, just like you, right? This is where, family, okay, how do I put it? This is where Zeus would live. This is where Anubis will live. This is where all the gods that you pray to live. This is where all the angels or the watchers live, right? This is where they live. This is like the control center where they watch over all the other universes within the multiverse, right? All the different realities. And remember, in each womb as well, family, right here where I have it say each womb has multiple levels or dimensions within it. Somebody says each universe has 7 different levels. And this is another way you can think about Jacob's ladder, right? Or you can even think of the Tower of Babel. Each universe has multiple levels of different realities within it. So even though, look, you have, let's say we live right here. This is Earth, where my mouse is now. And yes, you can leave here. Well, let me not get that far. And yes, there's different verses to the left of it, to the right of it, above it, and below it. But within it itself, family, there are several different layers of dimensions. In one dimension, you're a rich person. One dimension, you're poor. One dimension, you're not even alive. Maybe you passed away, or in one dimension, you were never even born. You know, one dimension, you're just mediocre. You're just, as they would say, middle class. Each one is different, right? One dimension, you're an evil tyrant. You know, one dimension, you're in prison. Many different realities, family. Right? Okay, so anyway, now let's go back to here. Now, to understand this more, once again, this is why I said at the top, TVA, time variance authority, right? If you watch Loki, family, they're really explaining how the universe works. Because if you watch Loki, you understand that in the TVA, family, they're able to jump to all the different universes or timelines, and they're able to destroy them or do whatever they want, manipulate them, right? It's the same thing for the first realm. This is the first realm that the Creator ever spoke into existence, family, right? And then once the Creator created this realm, the Creator took pieces of His essence. So remember, this is the Creator, all this emptiness, and then the Creator spoke life. Well, okay. One day the Creator created a womb within itself, right? And there's some people, that doesn't mean the Creator's a woman, and the Creator isn't a man either. The Creator just is, right? But this is what you would call the feminine aspect of the Creator. Because the Creator created a womb in which life can be created, right? In which life can be free to create more of itself. So the Creator spoke into existence, or created a womb within itself, an empty space within itself, right? In which order to create. And within that womb, the creator, let's say, broke off pieces of itself or essences of itself, right? Let's say, once again, I've used it before. Let's say, okay, matter of fact, you know how when you eat cotton candy, family, and you when you're eating cotton candy, usually how do you eat it? Yes, you can. Remember, cotton candy comes on a stick, right? Well, if you're eating it at a carnival, but I think they even sell it in bags like that at the store too on a stick. But anyway, we're gonna go the normal way, which is they usually put cotton candy on a stick, right? Why am I yelling? Anyway, so imagine cotton candy, right? And the cotton candy's on the stick. And what do? You take bites of it with your mouth, right? Or if you don't do that, what do? You take your hand and you rip pieces off at a time. So imagine the creator, the spirit, right, as a big piece of cotton candy. So then the creator went in and ripped off individual pieces, right, of itself and put itself into this first womb right here. So imagine this open womb that the creator had. And now the creator's put, let's just say there's 24 elders. So let's say 24 pieces of itself within this womb, right? And these first pieces were formless. They were just spirits. So they would be the second state of existence. They would be spirit. They would be in the form of maybe fire or light or just smoke. Who knows? But they were formless. They didn't necessarily have, or when I say formless, imagine I took this piece of paper and I just drew, like, you know how usually you would draw clouds back in the day? Like this, you would go do something like this, make little bubbles in a circle or like random. So imagine, the first angels or gods or watchers, caretakers, whatever, look like that. They were formless. And understand that the creator gave these first clouds or specks of itself that it ripped off and put in this womb, gave them a sense of autonomy or free will, right? So, but they also have the ability to reproduce. Okay, family, you know how what is it? I think it's called asexual animals. Is that what it's called? Where animals are able to impregnate themselves, right? So these spirits, family, are able to impregnate themselves, right? The first spirits, they're able to create from themselves, to do just like the Most High, right? Because this is when they're in their art stage. We're talking about this what we call today is, or what we perceive as gods or angels or watchers. This is at their first stage, family. I'm explaining it from the simplest stage. The Creator put them in the first womb, and from there they were given free will to create what? All these other multiverses. So the first 24 elders were creating all these different multiverses, or the first gods or angels, watchers, whatever you want to call them. But also keep in mind this, family. Each one of us is just an extension of the Creator. Matter of fact, if any of you have seen the show Rick and Morty, in season 6, I believe, season 6, episode 2, right? If you go back to season 6 of Rick and Morty and watch episode 2, it's about Morty going to this arcade, this virtuality game, right? And he gets stuck in there, and Rick has to go into the game to save him. And basically, in this virtuality game, everybody in the virtuality game, it creates a world like ours, but everybody in the game is literally Morty, but they don't realize that they're Morty, right? But Rick has to go in there and tell everybody, bro, look, you're all Morty, but I'm Morty's grandfather. So, but aren't you Morty too? No, I'm not Morty. I'm Morty's grandfather. But and I'm inside of this game trying to get my grandson out of here. But all of you have to understand and realize that you are my grandson. You are Morty. And I hope I probably didn't explain that well, but what I'm saying is, family, me, you, your mama, your daddy, your cousin, your brother, every stranger you see, the sky, every bird, every cat, every dog, every fish, every elephant, every whale, every dolphin, every so-called alien or extraterrestrial, every car you see, every rock you see, every mountain, everything, family, is literally the Creator, because everything is made of the essence of the Creator. Even the first 24 elders themselves are the creator. Now, when I say that, that don't mean go do what you want. That don't mean you be evil. That don't mean go around doing. No, you have to understand how this works. We're projections of the creator. We are, how do I say it? We are the creator's way of experiencing something outside of itself, even though technically it's within itself, but it's like it's without itself. Because remember, there's nothing that's real, family. The only thing that's real is the creator, right? So every person within the womb is truly just an extension of the creator. Or maybe a better way to think of it, we're all one of the creator's blood cells, right? Your blood is your blood, right? You tell people, hey man, don't drink my blood, don't touch my blood, because every cell is you. Every cell in your body is you, right? So even every piece that the Most High Creator breaks off is a piece of the Most High. It's just an extension of the Most High. So that's another reason to understand why there is truly no death. Because you're truly just a spirit. The Most High can't die. You're truly just an extension of the spirit of the Most High. I say the best way to say that is more like recycling, right? Maybe that's the best way. But anyway, I digress. So these creatures. Oh, so actually another way. Imagine. Okay. Those who are science savvy. You know how when people are, you probably seen this on movies or TV shows. So you know how movies or TV shows, when they're studying, let's say germs or amoebas or something, right? What do? They take a sample of something and then they put it in between those two glass slides and they slide in underneath a microscope. And have you ever seen a movie or a TV show where they've done this, right? They've been going through this process, and then when they look at the germs or entities underneath the slides, the entity starts multiplying, right? Like in other words, they start multiplying in the type of way to where the entity, the first drop, it was just by itself, right? It was just that one. But then that one drop started splitting into two. Like it started multiplying itself. This is how I'm explaining to you how the first so-called gods or angels or watchers or caretakers worked. They multiplied themselves. Just like the creator multiplied itself by taking off piece of its essence and depositing them within these wombs, right? These wombs, which are verses created for life to what's the word? Man, I'll be forgetting simple words, man. For life to multiply, to create itself, I guess, if you want to put it like that, right? So, anyway, where am I at now? So, basically, what I want y'all to know, family, is whenever you're praying, so in other words, when we talk about blasphemy or we talk about idol worship, you know how people draw pictures like this, family? You know, like, you see, this is supposed to be a picture of God, right? Of God being a white man sitting on a throne, right, over all things, right? This, or, you know, even, I couldn't find one. Crazy how when I went on Google, type in picture of a black guy, it's like they want to come up now. But anyway, but let's just use this picture of Morgan Freeman. So even an image of a so-called black guy, right? What y'all got to understand is, family, when you do that, technically, you're committing idolatry. Because the creator or creation itself is formless. It's not man, it's not woman, does not have genitalia, doesn't have a sex. Sex wasn't invented technically until later on, family. Until it was invented by who? The essences, the first creations of the creator, right? Because they were given free will to use their imagination to create whatever they wanted. But truly, when they're acting, family, they're acting in the place of the creator. We are the creator. Although we're not the creator, because in order to be the creator, we have to go back home to the all, which is to be nothing again. But while we're here, we have our own independence. But even and this almost gets into the discussion of, do you have free will? You have free will, but only free will in the sense of, I mean, you really don't, I guess. Because every person is an extension of the Most High Creator's mind, its thoughts. So the Creator is like, I want to know what it's like to be me. I want to know what it's like to be a mom, a dad. I want to know what it's like to be a criminal. I want to know what it's like to be a soldier at war. I want to know what it's like to be a doctor. We are all essentially just avatars for the Creator to experience what life would be like if life was real outside of itself, right? So, anyway, so I digress. So, like I showed you those two pictures, family, whenever you pray, family, whenever we're in these different universes, all these different worlds, right? All these are different realms. Whenever you pray, family, you're really praying to, remember, there's a difference between God and the Creator. You are a God. The Bible says it. Are ye not God? Yahushua said it. You look, if you're going to question me, don't question Yahushua. Even Yahushua himself said, ye are gods. Are ye not gods? Gods are, once again, also angels, watchers. Understand, family, when you pray, remember, magic or manifestation starts with your mind and how you visualize things. And this is why it comes into why sometimes we're taught wrong and we don't realize what we're being taught. This is why you're not supposed to draw pictures of things, as it says, in the heavens. Because now you're creating idols. And now you're picturing God or the Creator is a man or a woman sitting on a throne, when in reality that's not the truth. The Creator don't need a chair. The Creator just exists. The Creator don't need to sit, sleep, eat. The Creator don't need to love or do none of that. That's why the Creator created these verses, to experience something other than just existing. So you got to understand, once again, family, everything is the Creator. The chair you're sitting in now is the Creator. The computer or phone you're looking at right now, listening to me, is the Creator. Your voice is the Creator. The air you breathe in your lungs is the Creator. Your clothes, the shirt you have on your back, the shirt on your back is the Creator. Your car is the Creator. The building you go to work in is the Creator. Everything is the Creator. This is what you have to understand. And you have to learn to pray in a way as in not to visualize a man or a woman sitting on a throne, but to visualize the Creator itself as everything. And it doesn't mean worship. You don't worship the creation. You worship the Creator. I'm trying to, the best way to explain this, but I need you to understand this concept, family. You know, it is truly idol worship when you visualize the Creator as a man or a woman sitting on a throne or this and that. That's not the Creator. The Creator is formless. The Creator is not petty. The Creator is neat things in man. Now, understand, and this is going to even ruffle some more feathers, family. Some people, look, the Creator made the angels or the spirits, the watchers, the gods, the caretakers, or whatever. Remember, you are gods, right? But made these entities to assist us. So you're allowed to talk to these entities, family. So when you pray, it's not, and I'm not telling anybody to do this. First off, do some more research. As they say, do your shadow work. Get yourself right. Family, the 10 Commandments is not a Christian thing. It is not a religious thing. I've always said they're like keys as well, right? When you follow the 10 Commandments, family, don't kill, don't steal. In other words, carry yourself in a certain way. Carry yourself in that way. It cleanses your body. It cleanses your spirit. So when you get in contact with these beings, the truly righteous ones, the ones who live here in Mount Olympus or the TVA family, remember, they're close to the Creator. They have contact with the Creator. So they're beings who are in a state, I would say, of being clean, right? Or being pure. So, you know how the Bible says, it speaks about not running the Spirit of the Most High away from you by your sins or by your uncleanliness. It's the same with them. Like the Archangel Gabriel or Raphael, right? You could speak with them, family. That's your right to speak with them. Not to worship, but to speak with them and ask them for help. That's your right to do that. But you must be clean. You must cleanse your temple. Otherwise, you will run them away from you because they don't like uncleanliness. They don't help the unrighteous. But here's the thing. Another reason why I say you have to be clean. This gets into the realm where people start talking about magic and stuff like that. Let's say you go to talk to Archangel Michael or Gabriel, right? or one of the other angels that you've been led to, and you're calling this angel or trying to speak to them and ask them for help because you're supposed to command them. They're here to help you, to serve you. Because remember, a true king, a true queen is what? A servant to the people. They're a servant to us, to the children of the Most High, especially us who are living in these physical realms going through our probationary periods, right? So here's the thing. If you're not clean and you're trying to speak to Archangel Gabriel, Michael, or Uriel, or one of these archangels, right? If you're unclean, family, you might get some entity that does not want your best interest at heart. And because it's already an entity that doesn't want your best interest at heart, and they're not living by the rules of the universe, right? The laws of the universe, they're gonna come lie to you and be like, hey, it's me, Gabriel. But because of your lack of understanding and your lack of being clean, you're probably most likely gonna sit there and believe this entity. So while you're sitting here asking the entity for help, you're not realizing that you're sitting here talking to some entity that isn't Gabriel, isn't Michael, is not an archangel that you were trying to contact. You contacting some entity that you ain't got no business talking to that's wanting to harm you. This is the importance. This is getting to the importance of fasting and praying, reading your word, of carrying yourself in accordance with the law, so you can always be clean and always be worthy of contact with the archangels or the angels of the Most High that sit near the throne, if you want to call it a throne. That's just, remember, I know I said there's no throne, but I'm just using that as the best way to explain this to you guys, right? So that's just something y'all gotta understand, family, right? What else do I need to say about this map? I also want to read from the book of Enoch, some pages from the book of Enoch, family, so bear with me to explain something. So basically what I'm also want to explain to y'all, family, the truth is there is more than one heaven, family. Or in other words, there's more than one verse. There are many multiverses. There's more than one heaven. Remember, a kingdom. The kingdom, it says the kingdom of heaven. There's more than one kingdom, family. What is a kingdom? The kingdom is not just one man or one woman being a so-called king or queen, right? A kingdom is a collection of people. A collection of people who have chosen to follow one ruler. And that ruler is a representation of the people. That one ruler is a representation of the people's beliefs. A kingdom is a group of people, family, with a set of similar beliefs, or in a more worldly way, a kingdom is a group of people who pay taxes to a selected leader. But a kingdom itself, family, right, at the end of the day, is the people. It's multiple individuals coming together in one. It's not just one entity. It's not just one man or one woman sitting on the throne. The kingdom is the people. So you can have multiple kingdoms, right? You can have one kingdom over here with 1,000 people, one kingdom over here to the west with 5,000 people, one kingdom to the south with 10,000 people, one kingdom, another kingdom of people to the east with 20,000 people. They're all kingdoms, right? So what I'm trying to explain to you, family, is in this world, we've been taught wrong a lot. So when you stay in the guises of these religions, when the so-called Christian religion, because remember, family, Yahushua, or nicknamed Jesus, was not a Christian, right? None of the people in the Bible, family, were Christians. They were not Christians. There was no such thing as a Christian during those times. So what is this Christian heaven that they have you trying to go to? Or even when you sit here, even when they sit here and say, oh, you're going to hell, you're going to hell. Whose hell are you going to? Because family, this is important, right? Because this is why I always say the Creator has no need for no, as they say, oh, there's mansions in heaven. The Creator don't sleep. The Creator don't care nothing about no mansion. The Creator could just snap its finger and create a mansion or multiple mansions. But it don't need them because the Creator don't eat, don't sleep, don't sit down, don't get tired. Creator don't want to sit down all day looking at a picture on the wall. The Creator's too busy being the Creator, being the all. So This is just something to think about, family. When you sit in church, if you still going to church, or you sit in any religious institution, and they sit here and say, "Oh, you're praying because you need to go to Shambhala, or you need to go to heaven, or you need to go to Knick Knack Paddywhack, give a dog a bone, or wherever," or somebody keep telling you you're going to hell if you do this and do that. Ask yourself, what dimension with my error are they trying to send you to? Where is this heaven? Is that the heaven that you want to go to? Do you want to go to heaven where all you do is sit around for eternity eating grapes all day, laying down and listening to a harp play? You know, this is what I believe, family. I believe that in our universe, let's say it's right here, right? Let's say we live right here. And remember, manifestation is your mind. When you continue to sit here and say you're going to hell, let's say you're someone who believes you're going to hell because of your choices. You know, or you're always like, I don't want to go to hell, I don't want to go to hell. You keep believing it's hell, right? Or saying, or you convince your mind, your subconscious, you're going to hell because you've done so wrong. You sit in a Christian church, they tell you you're going to hell, right? What I truly believe is, family, is when you pass away, if you keep saying that, for one, I believe we're in hell now, because I believe truly hell or fire, whatever, is testing. We're in probationary right now, right? But here's the trick. I believe the trick is that somehow back in the day, and I could be totally wrong, this is just my hypothesis, but there are people who are able to talk to certain entities, right? They have these gifts. They have these powers where they can talk to entities, whether they so-called good or bad, right? And one of these entities might be, let's say this is Earth right here, right? But let's say this place right here. This might be a place called, Persei 6. Persei 666. Let's say that, right? And on Persei 666, it has a landmass that's got lava everywhere. It's mostly a barren desert. It has all types of reptile-like creatures that have sharp teeth that are carnivores, and they go around eating each other all the time. And it's just what we might call hell, pure chaos, right? It doesn't have a sun, or maybe it has a red sun, so it's not bright like us. It's really gloomy all the time, right? So maybe an entity that is from that realm was able to communicate with someone from this realm and was like, hey, I want you to start convincing people about a place called hell. And then they gave them an image of hell, fire, brimstone, this and that, right? So you start manifesting this hell in your mind, in your spirit. And every time you say you're going to hell or somebody call you hell, this place comes to your mind. Not knowing that once you pass away, because you keep saying that, you have now manifested that your spirit is now going to travel across the multiverse, whether it go through this way or just go straight across. And now your spirit's going to be transferred to Persei 6, Persei 666, because you've allowed them to implant this kingdom of hell within your head, right? Or you got them thinking or they keep telling you, oh, you want to go to this heaven, the Christian heaven, which is mansions and golden roads, right? And let's say that's here, right? So then you pass away, your spirit transfers here, and you get there, and you just a house servant. And you get there, and there's a man or woman saying, oh, hey, welcome to Christian heaven. This is Christian heaven. What is Christian heaven? It's got blue skies, green animals, right? But guess what? You a slave. You a servant. You serving some giant, right? And they like, look, I know you came from earth, but they tricked you. When you keep on saying you wanted to come to this Christian heaven, what you didn't know is you were signing a contract to be a slave for the next 5,000 to 10,000 years to live in this universe and service. Sorry, that's just how it works. You got tricked. These are the things you got to think about, family. And look, the true heaven, family, remember, the true heaven, remember the all, you see where it says the all, the ether, the true heaven, the true eternity is this. That's the true heaven. But we're all one day hoping to first make it to here, the realm, the TVA, the realm of the God, to make it to the very top before you get to the end. The beginning and the end. That's when you big dog. That's when you really know, well, not know everything, but almost everything. Or know whatever there is to know That's where you know everything you need to know about these different universes. When you come back here. And when you come back here and know everything, that's when you're ready to do what? Go back home to the darkness. Go back home to the true heaven. Go back home to spiritual form. And remember, family, when you leave this, though, and you go back to the first state of reality, family, you go back to being the creator itself. You're just like, when you leave this realm, family, and go back to the all, you're really just a memory within the consciousness of the creator. You're no longer an individual. You're the all. You are the creator itself in its true form. Individuality only exists within the wombs that the creator made. That's the blessing that the creator gave us, is that we're able to experience life within these wombs. Right? So just keep, that's why I say, family, we have to you have to be careful about where you let your mind, what you manifest in your mind, what you believe when it comes to heaven and hell. You got to ask, where are these people trying to send you? Right? When I leave, family, I want to explore all these different multiverses. Now that I think about it, yes, one day I want to go back to the all, but the more I get understanding, the more I think about it, I have plenty of time to go back to the all when I'm ready to go back. But I want to live in the blessing of creation that the creator created. I want to go to, maybe this could be Pandora, like Avatar. You know what I'm saying? This could be a world like Lord of the Rings. This could be a world like Star Wars or Star Trek. All these different universes, all these different species and creatures and things you could live as, right? You know what I'm saying? And I hope y'all understanding what I'm saying, family. I know I've been going on for 40 minutes, but I wanted to put this out. But hey, this is what I want y'all to understand. That this is the best way. This is the universe for dummies, right? I'm not saying you're dummies, but you know the book. You know, but yeah, family, know that when you pray, this is who you're praying to most of the time. This is who we've been praying to, because we manifest these things in our mind instead of knowing how to speak to the creator itself, understanding that the creator is all around us. Like it says, go within. That's another reason, family, why we meditate. When you meditate and you close your eyes, what is it? Darkness, right? Darkness, which is where you came from, which is the true creator, right? Anyway, let's keep going. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get to reading the book of Enoch to further expound on what I've been saying. So I'm starting from I've got a book called The Books of Enoch, and it has all the books of Enoch in one book. So that's why I'm on page 177, and it says chapter 1. But this is to Enoch, the book of the secrets of Enoch, right? So but you can follow along on the screen, but I just want to read some things. There is more than one heaven, family. If you don't believe me, believe Enoch. I'm not making this up. There is more than one heaven. You have been deceived, and the funny thing is, family, this truth has been in front of our face the whole time. But we've been so focused on the Christian heaven. Where's the Christian heaven? Where are you? We gotta start asking, where are you trying to send my soul where are you trying to trick me to send my soul when I leave this place? What different realm are you trying to send me to? Because we too ignorant to understand the truth, because they won't tell us the truth. Or are we just tricking ourselves to be stuck here in this particular realm, to relive life here on this planet or this earth over and over again, or in this realm over and over again, instead of moving on to bigger and better things, to greater things, moving on to be the gods, to express ourselves as the gods that we are meant to express ourselves as beings who are able to create. Anyway, let me go ahead and start. There was a wise man and a great craftsman, and the Lord formed a love for him and received him, so that he should see the highest dwellings, and be an eyewitness of the wise and great and inconceivable and unchanging realm of God Almighty, and of the very wonderful and glorious and bright and manifold vision of the position of the Lord's servants, and of the inaccessible throne of the Lord, and of the degrees and manifestations of the spiritual non-physical host, and of the unspeakable ministrations of the multitude of the elements, and of the various apparitions and singing of the host of cherubim, which is beyond description, and of the limitless light, And at that time he said, when my 165th year was completed, I begat my son Methuselah. After this I lived 200 years and finished of all the years of my life 365 years. On the first day of the month I was in my house alone and was resting on the bed and slept. And when I was asleep, great distress came up into my heart, and I was weeping with my eyes in sleep, and I could not understand that this distress was, or what was happening to me. And there appeared to me 2 very large men, so big that I never saw such on earth. Their faces were shining like the sun. Their eyes were like a burning light, and from their lips fire was coming out. They were singing. Their clothing was of various kinds in appearance, and was purple. Their wings were brighter than gold, and their hands whiter than snow. They were standing at the head of my bed, and began to call me by my name. And I arose from my sleep, and clearly saw the 2 men standing in front of me. And I greeted them, and was seized with fear, and the appearance of my face was changed to terror. And those men said to me, Enoch, have courage and do not fear. The eternal God sent us to you, and you shall ascend today with us into heaven. And you shall tell your sons and all your household all that they shall do without you on earth in your house. And let no one seek you until the Lord returns you to them. And I hurried to obey them, and went out of my house, and went to the doors, as I was ordered. And I summoned my sons, Methuselah, and Regem, and Gadad, and explained to them all the marvels the men had told me. Listen to me, my children. I do not know where I will go, or what will befall me. So now, my children, I tell you, do not turn from God in the face of that which is empty or prideful, which did not make heaven and earth. For these shall perish along with those who worship them. And may the Lord make your hearts confident in the respect of him. And now, my children, let no one consider seeking me until the Lord returns me to you. It came to pass, when Enoch had finished speaking to his sons, that the angels took him onto their wings and lifted him up onto the first heaven and placed him on the clouds. What did he say? He lifted him up onto the first heaven and placed him on the clouds. Heavens, the sky, the first heaven, the sky above you. And there I, Enoch, looked, and again I looked higher and saw the ether. And they placed me on the first heaven and showed me a very large sea, bigger than the earthly sea. They brought the elders and rulers of the stellar orders in front of me, and showed me 200 angels who rule the stars and services of the stars to the heavens, and fly with their wings and come round all those who sail. And here I looked down and saw the storehouses of snow, and the angels who keep their amazing storehouses, and the clouds where they come out of, and into which they go. They showed me the storehouses of the dew, like olive oil in its appearance and its form, and as of all the flowers of the earth. And they also showed me many angels guarding the storehouses of these things, and how they are made to shut and open. And those men took me and led me up onto the second heaven, and showed me darkness greater than earthly darkness. And there I saw prisoners hanging, watched, guarded, awaiting the great and limitless judgment. And the spirits were dark in appearance, more than earthly darkness, and perpetually weeping through all hours. And I said to the men who were with me, why are these beings unceasingly tortured? They answered me, these are God's apostates, who did not obey God's commands, but took counsel with their own will, and turned away with their prince, who is also held captive in the fifth heaven. And I felt great pity for them. And they greeted me and said to me, man of God, pray to the Lord for us. And I answered them, I am just a mortal man. Who am I that I should pray for spirits? Who knows where I go, or what will become of me, or who will pray for me? And those men took... Oh, my bad. Forgot to change the page. I'm right here, family, where my arrow is. And those men took me from there and led me up onto the third heaven, and placed me there. I looked down and saw what this place produces, and that it was so good that such as has never been known. And I saw all the sweet flowering trees, and I saw their fruits, which were sweet smelling, and I saw all the foods that came from them, and that the food was bubbling with fragrant vapors. And in the middle of the trees was the tree of life, in that place where the Lord rests, when he goes up into paradise. And this tree is of indescribable goodness and fragrance, and adorned more than anything existing. And all sides of its form were golden and brilliant red and fire-like. And it was completely covered, and it produced all fruits. Its root is in the garden at the earth's end, and paradise resides between spiritual and physical. And two springs come out which send forth honey and milk, and their springs send forth oil and wine, and they separate into four parts, and flow quietly around and go down into paradise of Eden between the mutable and eternal. And there they go forth along the earth and have a circular flow, even as other elements. And there is no unfruitful tree here, and every place is blessed. 300 angels, which are very bright, are there to keep the garden, and with the incense, sweet singing with voices, which are never silent, serve the Lord throughout all the hours of the days. And I said, how very sweet is this place. And those men said to me, this place, O Enoch, is prepared for the righteous, who endure all manner of offense from those that exasperate their souls, who avert their eyes from iniquity, and make righteous judgment, and give bread to the hungering, and cover the naked with clothing, and raise up the fallen, and help injured orphans, and who walk without fault before the face of the Lord, and serve him alone. And for them is prepared this place for eternal inheritance. All right, family, look, I'm going to stop there. I originally meant to read more, but honestly, now I'm sitting here thinking about it and reading it. I didn't really need to read as far as I did. I just needed to make the example. I need you to see the example of what I was trying to show you, that there's more than one heaven. In them first, 2-3 pages we read, family, there's a mention of at least 5 different heavens. 5 different heavens, family. Because remember, and just in case you want to read whatever else I was going to read, look, I'll put it on the page. You can pause it. You can read right here. Here you go. You can pause it. Read right here. Pause it. You'll read right here. Pause it. Read right here. This is the last page I was going to read of the book of Enoch. But the point I was trying to make, family, is like when I was saying remember right here, heaven, right? It's mostly what we've been taught is we're thinking of one kingdom in the sky, right? Of the Christian heaven. But heavens really just means, back in the day, family, when people were talking about the heavens, they were talking about the sky. Remember, even in the Bible, the Most High was talking about the birds to fly. Where do the birds fly? The heavens. The birds don't fly in space, family. They don't fly in water. Well, I guess some people could say air in a way is water, but there's common sense. Where do birds fly, family? In the sky. They don't leave the atmosphere. They can only fly in the sky where there's air in their wings, right? So keep in mind, right? I need y'all to make the point once again. There are multiple heavens, family. And you saw where Enoch, he went to different heavens. Look. And even in Enoch, as he's talking about there's certain spirits or angels being tortured. Look, because they went against God's word. Which God? Which God did they betray? Whose word of which God did they go against? That's why you have to understand, family, there's a difference between the creator and gods. We are gods. Calling the creator God is really like an insult. It's like taking away the power and the title that the creator has as the creator. I'm a god, you're a god. So these angels who are being tortured, family, for all you know, they could have been living in a realm where Zeus was living and went against Zeus' word, or they could have been living in the land of Anubis, or the land of Isis, or a universe of Isis. They could be punished for going against their rules because those are the rules of their universe where they live, right? But it won't be forever. They cannot torture you forever, family. Because you belong to the most. No matter how much someone sit here and tell you, or people use the term, so you can literally not sell your soul because your soul does not belong to you. That's like trying to sell. That's like you having a rental car and you selling the rental car like, nigga, you don't own that rental. That rental belongs to Enterprise or Alamo or whoever, whatever rental car company. You can't sell something that don't belong. Your soul does not belong to you. Your soul belongs to the Most High. And I want to say this. I don't believe that there is a true... Look, the closest thing to death, of a true death, I think that in my... Look, and I could be totally wrong. So I'm not saying right, but this is what I truly believe is the truth within my heart, what I've learned. The true death would be more so like... Because the energy just transforms, family. You can't actually die. What is most important about you, family? What's actually most valuable is your memories, is your experience. What makes you is your memories, is your experiences. So let's say you're something, I guess maybe you're just the most blasphemous creature in all the multiverses, right? Nobody can do nothing with you. Not even a creator. But they can't actually destroy you or kill you. Because you are made of the spirit of the creator. You can't destroy. The creator is not going to destroy itself. Remember, all this is made of the substance. The best way I can say is you'll be recycled. In other words, it'll be almost like you'll be like for instance, think about it like this. The creator itself is made up of trillions, gazillions, infinite number of individuals and memories. So, family, you know how you've done stuff like years ago? Like, I'm 33 right now, right? So let's say when I was 7, I did something. And it was just a regular day. Let's say I got punished once and had to go in the corner. Well, I got whoopings. Let's say I got a whooping once when I was 7, right? For doing something wrong. At this point, as 33, I rarely would even think about that, if at all. Matter of fact, I might even forgot about it. Like, not even coming up again, right? That's essentially where I would say this is where the true death comes in. If this is the best way I could say it works. It's not that you die. It's just that you're just not thought of. And when you're not thought of by the creator, it's almost like you don't exist. That true hell is... If a true hell is not you, I would say there's 2 different types of hells. First is the mental hell. It's like, once again, remember I've explained it, it's like a mental breakdown. And I take that mental breakdown and times a million. It's like an itch you can't break. It's like this unfathomable just hurt and sorrow that you can never get away from. Well, it's not to say never, but you're going to have to feel that way until you fix it. Until you come to terms with whatever it is you did. I believe the Most High, remember, the Most High is a true form of love. The Most High is supposed to be your mother, your father, and your mother and father don't want to hurt you. They might let you go through things in order to learn your lesson. They don't stop you from being punished because that's how you learn, but they're not going to destroy you. So I would say that the true death would be more so like I said, family, it's almost like you just not thought of. Like, for instance, have you ever watched a movie like, here's one. What's that movie with, what's his name? What was that? It was a sci-fi movie where Earth was dying. And this is a plot to a lot of movies, but this is, Interstellar. Remember Interstellar, right? And there was a scene when he was able to connect with himself or his daughter in the past. So, family, every moment that you've lived, right, is still alive now. That's why I say your memory is like gold. What's most valuable is your memories. Nothing is real without you. Nothing is real without your experience. You know, as they say, if a tree falls in the forest, did it really fall? Because no one was there to see it. No one was there to hear it. That's what I mean. So imagine that. So when I was 7 and I did whatever wrong, that 7's punishment is to forever live in that memory and never have the creator visit it. It's like that memory is inconsistent. That memory is just it's good as it might as well be forgotten, because it's just sitting in a memory vault, stuck with trillions and gazillions of other memories back in the all. It's not thought of. It's not heard of again. It's not dead. It's not destroyed, because remember, it's not supposed to be destroyed. It's a part of the essence of the Most High. Family, every memory, good or bad, the Most High keeps it. The Most High Creator keeps it in His memory banks. That's how the Most High knows everything. Like Brainiac from Superman. You know, technically from Superman, the show, Brainiac is the Creator. The Creator is just consuming knowledge all day long, family. That's what the Creator does. The Creator consumes knowledge and information and experiences. But you don't want to be part of, basically, you don't want to be junk mail. I would say that's my best way of what I would say actual hell, if there was a hell, was, family. It's not fire, it's not being tortured. It's number one, you having a mental breakdown times a million after you leave this earth, because you're going through everything you've done wrong and you feel that sorrow. You're like, I was so wrong. Why did I do this? Or you go, and here's the thing. And then also remember, I've said that that's home. That's peace. But here's remember, this is what I've read. If you follow some of my teachings where I've read the Colburn or talked about the Colburn says insanity is unmanifested potential. Going back home, family, to the darkness before you're ready, before you truly understand what it is, can be hell, can be maddening, can be a punishment. Because remember, when you go back to the all, family, you're no longer able to take part in creation. You're no longer able to taste ice cream, to breathe air, to have a family, to know what it is to be so-called in love with a woman or man again, to have intercourse, to experience the best times that you can remember now in your life. You no longer have the right to experience these things when you go back to the all, because you are the creator. When you go back to the creator, you just exist. Look, there's nothing wrong with it. It's not bad, family, but it's only good when you're ready to go back. It's only great when you're ready to go back. It's only great when you understand it. Family, this is why they want us to be afraid of the dark, because the dark is where we come from. But remember, family, when you understand a thing, you don't fear it. But when you don't understand a thing, what happens? You fear it. I hope I'm making sense. I know I'm all over the place, but I hope I'm making sense, family, right? But anyway, I want to keep going. I hope I explained the hell thing. It's not, look, Most High, if I'm wrong, then, right, look, family, if I'm wrong about hell, then I'm wrong. If it really is fire and this and that, look, if I'm wrong, then I find out when I get there, right? Or Most High, correct me and give me the knowledge and give me the right place, because, family, I'm saying, just from my research, family, and how I think, hell doesn't make sense. Like I say, hell is a state of mind. Fire is another way of not only describes your spirit, but fire is another way. It's another word for testing. Testing. Remember, family, this is what we do in probation where our spirits now. Testing to be proven that we're worthy to go where? To make it here. To make it to Mount Olympus. This is what we're doing. Family, I want to say this because I had this conversation with my mom the other day. Family, we've been told all this time, right? And I'm about to give you a different understanding. That our flesh cannot leave this realm, right? That our flesh cannot go into the spiritual realm. It cannot go to another, that we have to first so-called die, right? Think about this. Like, remember the Bible, right? Yahushua gave us the key. Remember, Yahushua has given us a wisdom for everything, family. We just have to be willing to listen and study and search. Study to make ourselves approved. Remember in the Bible, family, after Yahushua passed away, right? Remember, they put him in the cave and rolled the rock in front of the cave. And then they said that his body disappeared, right? And then a few days later, Yahushua appeared again before his disciples, right? In the flesh. Then the saying in flesh, and to even prove it, what did he say? He let his disciples touch his body. He even let them stick their hands in his wounds, right? Okay, this is the trick, family. This is what Yahushua learned while he was on his 40-day fast. And I can't remember where I first read this. Is years ago. It might have been in the Nag Hammadi, I believe, maybe. Or I could be wrong, or it was in Gnostic teachings. But anyway, it was saying that during the 40-day fast, something happened to Yahushua where he was able to start to see the world as it really was, to where he was able to honestly see the matrix, see the lines of the matrix. He was able to see the numbers everywhere. Everything became like, how do we say, translucent to him, where he was able to see that everything was made of spiritual substance. That he was able to understand now how he was able to manipulate things and change things with his power, right? So when you get to Yahushua's level, remember the word says you will do the things I've done and greater. This is where I want to be like my King Yahushua. I want to make it to my King's level, right? Why? Because when you make it to Yahushua's level, family, remember everybody is sitting at a certain vibratory rate. And the lower the vibration, the more dense the object, right? So right now, me even sitting here talking to you in this realm, I'm at one of the lowest, I'm not the lowest, but I'm at one of the lowest levels of vibration, which is why I'm able to touch my desk right now, why I'm able to sit in a chair, because everything at this level of vibration is solid. Everything around me is either at or around the same vibration, so I'm able to touch these things. This is why we're able to eat, why we're able to touch certain things, right? So what Yahushua learned how to do, family, is Yahushua learned how to vibrate on a higher level, to where basically he was able to. Remember how the Bible said he ascended in heaven? Yahushua was able to vibrate his body to a point to where now he's able to, let's say this is earth. Look at the screen. See let's say this is the earth realm. He was able to vibrate his body to such a higher level to where his body changed. In other words, Yahushua was a shapeshifter, right? In other words as well. To where now he was able to vibrate himself, turn his fleshly body into light or energy, whatever you want to call it, or spirit, and now he's able to travel to different universes wherever he wants to go, because he's able to change his fleshly body into light form or energy form, whatever, or spirit form, whatever, and now travel either, I don't know if he has to travel through the closest universe to get, or if he's able to cross across the ether to go to another. I don't know how he does it, but I know that's what that is now. When you get to the level of Yahushua, family, you are able to vibrate your body to a level to where you're able to transport your flesh to leave this realm. So in a way, yes, you cannot leave, your flesh cannot leave this realm. But in another way in another sense it can. You just have to learn how to transform your flesh to a different substance in order to be able to travel to another realm, family. Like for instance, let's say Yahushua was on earth and left here, and he wanted to go to this universe right here. And let's say this universe is like Avatar. You seen the movie Avatar, the blue people? So now, and let's say he goes to the universe, and these people have never seen someone who looks like us in this realm. So Yahushua doesn't want to scare them. So now Yahushua has the power to lower his vibration, but not only lower his vibration, become flesh again, because he had to turn to spirit or energy, whatever you want to call it, to travel there. But now Yahushua can now turn himself into like the body of one of the people in Avatar of I forget what they call, but the Navi. Now Yahushua can give himself the body of a Navi, right? So now he's going to lower his vibration to the correct vibration for this universe right here in order to live as a Navi. But what these people don't know is they have in a sense, a true God living among them now in their flesh. I'm telling you, family, that's what that is. If you don't believe me, look, like I said, pray on it. Don't believe nothing I say. But I'm just putting out, this is how my spirit is explaining to me in my studies, is that, once again, when we get to the level of Yahushua, if that's what you wish to do, I'm going to make it there one day. At some point, maybe I'm there now, just don't realize it. You will be able to leave this realm, as the Bible says, transform in the blink of an eye, right? You'll be able to, this is where you learn to vibrate your body to a higher level, family, to a higher vibration, so that you can travel to different realms. But we have to learn how to vibrate our body. Right now, we're sitting in the lower vibrational at a lower vibrational level for the realm that we live in, so we're able to interact with the environment around us. So just explaining that to y'all, family, how that works. But anyway, let's keep going. What else did I want to read for y'all? Okay, like wait, no, what's this? Okay, yeah. Okay, so I wanted to read this. This is something online I want to bring up. Repent and turn to God, or you will burn forever in hell. This line of thinking has been used for a very long time by Christian preachers. The idea is that because all sin equally separates people from God, and because all people have an immortal, indestructible soul that will live on and on forever, those who do not repent of their sins and receive forgiveness are doomed to burn in a place called hell forever after their final judgment. However, this is a mistaken, unbiblical idea that does not match up to a close examination of the biblical text. Sinners will not burn forever in a place called hell, but rather will be destroyed at the final judgment and receive the biblical penalty for sin, which is death. God will not torture anyone forever. You know, I don't agree with that. I don't believe that there's a final death, because the Creator wouldn't kill itself. The Creator, I'm not saying the Creator can't kill itself, but I'll put it like this. If we're all like blood cells in our body, can we kill our own blood cells, family? No. Can you kill, family, can you reach inside yourself and kill your own cells in your body? No, you can't. You know, and if you did, that's called suicide, I would say, right? But I know I'm on that's called murking yourself, right? Family, you cannot murk yourself. You cannot reach, I'm not saying can't. So I don't want to say never say, I say never say never. But that would take a lot of willpower and the Most High. And on top of that, and anyway, why would you want to hurt yourself? That's the thing too. Most people don't want to hurt themselves. So that's what I'm saying. The Most High does not want to, because remember, family, you are truly an extension of the Most High. Like I said, this gets into that free will realm. In reality, you have free will, but you really don't. You have free will, but you don't. Your will is in alignment. Your will is in alignment, or your life or destiny is in alignment with the will of the Most High Creator. Because you are the Most High Creator living this existence right now. And then you're going to take the memories back to the Most High when you go back. And now the Most High can live through those memories. That's the best way I can explain it. You're an extension of the Most High. I know it sounds crazy, but that's what you are. I am the Creator. You are the Creator. We're an extension. And the Creator's not going to commit. The Creator's not going to murk itself. Like I said, hell is like remember your memories, your everything you've been through. That's the most important. Look, you might be thrown in the back of a pile of junk mail, and you might not be thought of again, or you might not be thought of for maybe millions or billions of years. And who wants to be there? But at the same time, it's not burning, family. Family, let's say, if you're getting tortured somewhere, that's just another universe you're in. That's a different realm, and you've been lied to. If you end up, family, being tortured over, a matter of fact, a best way to explain that is go to once again Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty, the recent season, which is what, season 7, episode 9. About, once again, this is the one talking about Bigfoot, but it's also talking about Valhalla and Vikings. That level, in a funny way, explains what I'm talking about to you. Rick and Morty, season 7, episode 9. Is it seasons? Yes, season 7. Rick and Morty, season 7, episode 9. Go watch that, and that'll explain more about what I'm talking about right now, family. And then also, Rick and Morty, season 6, episode 2, will explain more of how I'm telling you, you're an extension of the Most High Creator. How you are the Creator. Whether it's hard to understand or not, easy to understand or not. Anyway, first, now back to reading. We right here. Firstly, we have already explored how the human spirit is not inherently immortal in other videos. Genesis 2:7 says, "Then the Lord God formed man of dust from the ground and breathed into his nostrils and breathed life, and man became a living being." The Hebrew word nephesh, which means soul, and refers to the whole person, including the breath of life from God in the physical body. This is very different from modern Western concepts of mind-body duality, but it must be understood in order to grasp what the Bible is actually saying throughout the Bible. It is consistently clear that the main hope of believers is not in a non-physical life in heaven after death, but rather in the resurrection of the physical body and eventually life on the new earth. In a way, family, he's kind of saying what I said earlier. Going, when I showed my map, look, you don't want to go back to the all until you're ready. You don't want to go back before it's your time. You don't want to go back until you truly understand it, because then it'll be like hell. Because it's like you don't want to be there. Where you want to be now, family, which is where you learn, where you get to experience, is whether it's here on Earth or on Pandora or one of the many other universes that the Creator has allowed to be created within itself. That's where you want to be right now until you're ready to go home to the all. That's my best way of explaining that in my way. Like I said, even though I'm reading this article, family, I'm not saying I agree. I'm just reading this article because there's certain points in here that I want y'all to hear to explain, especially when it comes to hell. There are a number of scriptural passages that strongly reinforce this idea. When studying this topic in the Bible, the overarching message is quite clear. The only being who is inherently immortal is God, or the Creator. So human souls are not naturally immortal or indestructible. In fact, Jesus warned, "Do not fear those who kill the body but are unable to kill the soul, but rather fear him who is able to destroy both soul and body in hell." In other words, fear the Creator who is able to throw your memories or throw the who you are now away into the junk pile and not look at you for a long, long time while you sit there saying hello, or maybe recycle you. In other words, maybe like your essence will be spread all throughout the universe, and there'll never be another you like you. There'll never be another creation like you again. Or in other words, like I said, it's not that you've been deleted or destroyed. It's just that there's just pieces of you around the universe, but those pieces will never come together again to make another you again, because you're a defective model. But there's not torturing. It's not burning in literal fire. Like I said, if that's family, remember, your soul itself is fire. Fire don't burn fire. Just like water can't make water wet, fire can't burn fire. If you're burning or being tortured, family, your spirit has been downloaded into another avatar so it can be tortured. So that is not, remember, because the Bible explains hell is supposed to be a place your spirit goes to suffer. And you're supposed to burn there, right? Well, your spirit is fire, family. If you don't believe me, read the Book of the Dead. Those who are familiar with Egypt teaching as well, that goes good. Those teachings, those are good at teaching about the soul being fire and explaining, the universe and the water and all that. So, go ahead and get in them teaching. We're not getting that now, but yeah. Secondly, the word hell in English does not exactly match any of the many words used in Hebrew and Greek to describe different concepts of death. In Hebrew, the word Sheol refers to the grave or the realm of the dead, which is a shadowy and unconscious reality of near non-existence. It is not the picture of flames and fire that many people have of hell. In the Greek New Testament, the words translated as hell are Gehenna, a burning garbage dump outside of Jerusalem, used to signify final judgments. And think about that too. Burning fires outside of Jerusalem. In other words, like I told you, the memory dump or junk mail, like I said, is what you will be back when you go back to the all. If you don't do right, you'll just be junk mail. The memory of you, like I said, won't be destroyed, because the Most High takes in all wisdom, takes in all. The Most High, like the word says, the Most High uses the bad for the good. This is because you even need to have knowledge of the bad so you know what to expect. Right? What's the best way to defeat your enemy? To know your enemy, to know how your enemy thinks. So the Most High doesn't destroy any information. Family, the Most High is an unlimited USB drive. Every bad, good memory, everything good and bad has ever happened in any universe is all backed up to a drive in the Most High. There is no death. Like I said, the death would just probably be that the closest thing to death would be, like I said, you got to go home early. And you go back to the all, and you cease to exist as you know yourself now. You're just a memory. You don't get to move on to Mount Olympus and live as a god or a watcher in luxury and create different earths or different realms of existence. And you don't get to do all that. In the Greek New Testament, the words translate, Gehenna, the realm of the dead in the Greek mythology, and also a Greek god. Hold on. Okay, let me go back. A burning garbage dump outside of Jerusalem used to signify final judgment. Hades, the realm of the dead in Greek mythology, and also a Greek god. And Tartarus, meaning a place of darkness. Remember, family, they want you to fear where you really come from. What does it say? And Tartarus is what? Meaning a place of darkness. Family, that's where we come from. But remember, it's hell to you, or it's bad to you, or it's madness to you if you're not ready to go home yet. But if you're ready to go home because you got an understanding, you want to rest, yes, that's the place, that's the true place of rest. Meaning a place of darkness. None of these fully match the theology of hell the Christians have. Okay, none of these fully match the theology of hell that Christians have, but instead are culturally specific concept with a limited meaning. Remember, family, what universe are they trying to send you to, like I said before, family? Revelations 20 speaks about something called the lake of fire, which is the main confusing verse. Reading it in context is important. This chapter clearly says that all the dead who sided with the devil, remember, the devil, family, remember, it's just a title. Anybody, your enemy, anybody who's against you is the devil or Satan. Lucifer is the name. But Lucifer is the name of the entity. But the devil or Satan can be given to anybody that is in opposition to you or the word of the Most High. You know, the person you get to fight at school is a devil or Satan because they're your adversary. The dead who sided with the devil will be physically resurrected on earth, and that fire will rain down on them, creating a lake of fire. So I guess the way that he's explaining it, family, is imagine if you got 200 people in a circle and someone pours a bunch of gasoline on them and places a fire. So in a way, if you're standing above them and watching all these people burn, this group of people burn, I guess you could call that a lake of fire. But once again, when I read it, though, I look at it as, you know how I've said earth is hell, family? And you got to be careful what heaven are these people telling you to go to, right? And I've said this before, the church is trying to keep your soul trapped here. So in other words, throwing you back into the lake of fire. In other words, throwing you back here in probation. Throwing you back here into fire, meaning testing. Throwing you back here to be tested until you get it right. You're not leaving this realm until you get it right. Like your parents say, you're not leaving your room until you clean it up. Or any type of training, family, where you have a coach or something and they say, no, you're not leaving until you get it right. You're going to keep doing it until you get it right. Or for my veterans who watch my video, I've been in the military and being in training, we get things wrong. They be like, no, do it again. You're not leaving until you get it right. You're not leaving until you get it right. Remember, family, it's all about perception. That's why you got to do the study and get the understanding, right? The devil, okay, hold on. We're physically resurrecting on earth, and the fire will rain down on them, creating a lake of fire. The devil, the beast, and the false prophet will be thrown into this lake of fire, which is on earth. The lake of fire is not hell itself, because Revelations 20:14 says that hell or Hades and death will be thrown into the lake of fire, which is called the second death. Any concept of hell, Hades, Sheol, death, or the grave will itself be ended in the second death, in the lake of fire on earth in the final judgment. Immediately after this, Revelation 21 says that God will make a new earthly paradise with no more death, sorrow, pain, or tears. There will be no place in the universe where people are being tormented. There will be peace in all creation, and there will not be any hell or Hades, since both are destroyed in the lake of fire. Now, family, personally, me, I don't believe this part. I think, once again, it comes to, not to say it's not true. I think you have to put it maybe in context. Now, maybe within this particular universe, or in this particular verse, there will be no more hate and anger and war and peace. But to say that there will be no more hate or anger, it's almost like saying, okay, we're not creating anymore. Because, family, with creation comes chaos. And remember, the library, the wisdom of the Most High is endless, family. You know why? Because our imaginations are endless. There's an endless amount of universes and creatures. The Most High's mind and imagination is not going to become stagnant, family. It's always expanding. So there's always going to be, in my opinion, from what I've learned, a need for a probationary period. Because one day I hope to become like Yahushua, or become an even greater God, to where I can create earths myself and create people. And when I create my own people, family, they're going to be like infants. And they're going to have to go through their own probationary periods in order to come into alignment with the laws of the universe. Or in other words, the creator's laws. Of the main ones is don't kill, don't steal. Remember, family, we were all teenagers. Remember when you were young and teenagers and you used to do dumb stuff because you didn't understand, so you got a little uppity with your parents and did things you shouldn't have doing? Even spirits go through that. That's why you have old people talk about, people say old souls, young souls, family. So I don't believe in this whole, look, I believe in the Bible. This is why I've said this before, it's confusing. Family, the Bible's true. I believe in the Bible wholeheartedly. But you have to read it and study it. And have the power and have the courage to go outside of the Bible as references, family, to get the full truth, to get the understanding of the symbolism of the Bible, or the allegories. And then you'll understand certain things, why the Bible says certain things. Because the true wisdom is for a king or for the true followers to find. It's not going to be plain for all to see, because some people will use certain information for wrong, for bad, use it to hurt other people. So you can't just put all the true wisdom out for everyone to just have like that, all willy-nilly. That's like giving loaded weapons to people who want to go out there and do harm to others. Like, you know what I'm saying? They go anyway. I think I explained it. Yeah, let's go to the next page. Christians have misunderstood the final judgment and preached a mistaken version of it for many years. Still, many people have studied this topic carefully and have come to understand the correct biblical teaching that the final judgment for evil people is death. It is a destruction that remains and lasts forever, an eternal punishment rather than an eternal punishing. The context of Revelation makes it clear. While the smoke of that torment may rise forever and ever, the fire itself cannot last forever in a world that God makes into a new paradise. The gift of God is eternal life. The wages of sin has always been death, not eternal life in a fire. The biblical teaching about the final judgment is that God will not torture people forever, but will have a universe with no sin, no suffering, and no evil remaining anywhere in it. That is good news. Alright, Revelations 20:14. The death and Hades were thrown into the lake of fire. The lake of fire is the second death. Or New Living Translation. The death and the grave were thrown into the lake of fire. This lake of fire is the second death. Or testing, I would say. The death or like I said, you're going to go out, you're going to go home earlier than you want. And you're not going to be able to live in the physical realm creating no more. You're just going to be a memory. Then death and Hades were thrown into the lake of fire. This is the second death, the lake of fire. Then death and Hades were thrown into the lake of fire. This is the second death. Hold on. Anyway, that's another thing, family. Remember how I was explaining the movies earlier? Like, have y'all ever seen the movies or TV shows where they'll give a scene of a memory, and that memory is like, man, I'm trapped in this memory. It's like the main character is going back to their life in a memory, and they go back to that memory and talk to themselves, and that memory's like, man, I will forever live in this bad memory. This I can't leave this memory. I have to replay this memory all the time, where I get murked or someone close to me gets murked or hurt. And that could also be, remember, family, if you're just a horrible person and you're thrown into the junk mail, imagine that as hell. Is that you now is always going to be trapped in that memory. And you can't get out of that memory. Right? So but it's not fire and damnation, family. I want y'all to understand. Anyway. I probably have something to say about that, but anyway. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will never pass away. Family, now think deep. It says heaven and earth. Heaven being what? The sky. Earth being what? The land. Will pass away. Family, if heaven is eternal, that's where you want to go. Why is it passing? Ask yourself, why is it passing away? If heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will never. What does that mean? If heaven is supposed to be eternal, family, why is it going to pass away? Because it's not talking about this, what you've been taught in Christianity, this hooey woo, this boogity oogity spiritual realm where you're to sit in a mansion all day, eating grapes and playing the horn and dancing around a throne. No. Because that's not what it is. Right? What does it say? It says my word. The word is what? The word is another word for the consciousness of the Most High. The mind of the Most High, right? Remember, the Most High's word spoke things in existence. That will never... He's talking about the Spirit. He's talking about the Spirit of the Most High will never go away because the Most High cannot die. The Most High cannot be destroyed. But heaven and earth, which are all creations of the Most High, within the wombs, the Most High can destroy them whenever the Most High wants. They come and go. They're not really real. They're just parts of the matrix. Each womb is a matrix, family. Each womb is a different matrix is what I'm saying. Yes, they will one day, they will come to an end because they're not real. That's what it means. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will never pass away. Understand that on a deeper level, family. Why? Remember, if heaven is eternal, why is the Bible saying one day it will pass away? What else? Okay, Sheol. A bowl. This is on Google you find Sheol. Remember, Sheol is under the earth. Remember, this is when it was talking about, think about our people. What did they believe Sheol was? They weren't thinking it was fire and brimstone. That's Christianity. Even the Greeks weren't thinking that, right? Our Sheol to us was this. It was a place underneath the earth. Remember, now we get in the Admiral Bird, we get in the Middle Earth. What is Sheol? Sheol, abode of the dead in the Hebrew Bible. The term can be interpreted to mean either the literal place in which dead people are placed, or the ancient world's concept of the afterlife as a subterranean land of gloom and deep darkness. Remember, family, everything they want you to think that is bad is deep and dark. But you might go under there and there might be a second sun under there. Might be creatures and people you never seen before. They always want you to stay away from everything they want you to fear, family. Remember, hell is supposed to be spiritual, right? So why would hell even be under the earth like that? It's spiritual. Hell can be around you right now. You don't know it. If it's spiritual, why does it have to be specifically there? That's the same, family. You got to use the common sense. If it's spirit, if it's the Most High Spirit, it could be anywhere. It don't have to be under the earth. And let's say, family, let's say even if hell was under the earth like that, right? It's still spiritual. You can't see spiritual things. So even if you were to build a drill and go there and visit it, what would it be? It would just be some big open cavern, or just be more rocks and dirt, or it might be some mantle. Family, you wouldn't be able to see it because it's spiritual. But remember, your soul is fire. Your soul is energy. And you can prove through science. They've shown through certain technology that when a person's body passes away, they see an energy source leave a body. So once again, family, your soul is energy. Energy is fire. If you don't believe me, when lightning strikes, why does it, and it hits certain places, why does it set things on fire? It's fire. Fire cannot burn fire. So if your soul is going to fire, why is it burning? It's not burning. You're not burning because your soul is fire. Fire can't burn fire. Anyway, let's keep going. Sheol, abode of the dead in the Hebrew. Hold on. Oh, wait, did I read everything? Hold on. Sheol in the Hebrew Bible is an underworld place of stillness and darkness, which lies after death. Within the Hebrew Bible, there are few often brief. Okay, see where it says stillness and darkness? Once again, the true home, family, is the darkness. It's stillness. It's darkness. But it's only heaven when you're ready to go home. But if you're not ready to go there, you panicking. You don't want to be there because you have unmanifested desires that you wanted to accomplish, or unfinished business within the physical realms, things you wanted to experience. Okay, Sheol's Hebrew underworld stillness. Where Sheol in the Bible first mentioned? Okay, it's the same thing. Let's see what else we got. Sheol. I think this. No, it's not the last one, but Sheol definition. Sheol, abode of the dead in Hebrew Bible. The term can be interpreted to mean either the literal. Okay, what a Sheol in Hebrew. Okay. Okay, yes, I'm reading the same thing. Unseen realm. Okay. Anyway, reading the same thing. Yeah, family. I'm gonna end it there. I'm not gonna read this. Okay. Sheol, abode of the dead. The term can be interpreted to mean either the literal place, the literal place in which dead people are placed, i.e., the ground, or the ancient world's concept of the afterlife as a subterranean land of gloom and deep darkness. Due to this ambiguity, some versions of the Bible translate Sheol as the grave or the pit, while other editions treat the words as meaning the abode of the dead. So, family, look. Anyway. Yeah, okay. Same thing. We got origins of belief in hell. If you want to pause and read this, well, we pretty much already read this earlier. It's not saying anything different than what we already talked about. So if you want to pause and read this part, go ahead. But oh yeah, remember, after this, if you want some good examples of stuff I'm talking about, and I didn't learn this from Rick and Morty. I already knew this stuff I already learned from reading before, family. But these episodes, this is how I was able to explain these, understand these episodes and go deep, because they're talking about what I'm talking about. You know, a lot of these TV shows, fam, these people know the truth, but unless you do the studying, this stuff go right over your head, and you just be looking at it for entertainment, sitting there laughing, not understanding the deeper story. So Rick and Morty season 7, episode 9, check that one out. And this is, and it doesn't say it on here, but this is Rick and Morty season 6, episode 2. This is the game that Morty jumps into to where everyone becomes him. So go check those episodes out, family, and you'll see more about what I'm talking about. The truth being our face, family. Anyway, that's it, family. And finish back on the diagram, right? Oh, remember, these are all different multiverses. They go up, they go down, they're everywhere. So this is just a small version. There's billions, true, because there's an endless number of universes, family, and they're being made even right now. Especially imagine on this earth, trillions of souls, right? And let's say we all let's say we all graduated from this and we're able to go and we are all able to ascend to the next level. That's another trillion universes that we all get to create. That's how it's never ending. It's always expanding, family. Anyway, I'm done, family. It's good talking to y'all. So without further ado, thank y'all for listening to my rants. I am a healthy, wise, strong, protected, celestial being that is loved by the Most High Creator. Shalom, family. Catch you later. Leave your comments and stuff. Support your guy. Ashe, family. Catch you later. Shalom. Shalom.